With hope, there are possibilities. The chance to succeed, the chance to grow. At the Hope Institute for Children and Families, we know this. And since 1957, it's been our mission to provide the best care to children with disabilities, resources for children and their families, and a place where all children are encouraged to excel. And with many of our success stories here at Hope, parents have already tried a number of different avenues to support their children, and they are looking for just that. Hope. We want you to meet 3 of our success stories. Marissa has attended the day school for 6 years. Kyle, who joined the Hope family 8 years ago. And Elizabeth, who has been with Hope for 10 years. Their stories are our inspiration.
When she was 5.5 months old, she had a grand mal seizure. I had to call an ambulance. She spent a week in the hospital, and that's when she was diagnosed with tuberous sclerosis complex. It was hard because her seizures would come in series, and her medical needs and her sleep habits and her behaviors, and the older she got, the more intense they got.
Even before he was born, we knew there was a problem. And he was born 13 weeks premature, and he weighed 1 pound and 5 ounces. And the doctors cautioned us to be prepared for any number of disabilities, and unfortunately they came about, they came to be. When Kyle was first diagnosed with retinal detachment or blindness, we were absolutely determined that we were going to meet all his needs at home, between my husband and I, the local school district, and our extended family.
Like many families, parents of children with disabilities try to handle the care and needs of their child by themselves.
I adopted Marissa. I picked her up at the hospital when she was 2.5 weeks old. At the time, I knew that she had Down syndrome, but she had no other diagnosis as then except for some medical issues. She had to have open heart surgery and those things. I am a special education teacher, so I felt strongly that I should be able to handle this. And I've taught children with Down syndrome, so I knew what to do with children with Down syndrome. But Marissa, at age 3, was exhibiting other behaviors that were not typical of children with Down syndrome. I was in denial. I didn't want to believe there was anything else, going on. Until age 6, when I finally decided that, I can't do this all on my own. Things are not exactly, how they should be. And at that point, we took her to the doctor, and she was diagnosed with autism. And then a year later, she was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome.
The parents of Marissa, Kyle, and Elizabeth all needed more support. That's when they came looking for Hope.
The Hope Institute has been around for 55 years. And from the day the doors opened, it's been an innovator. Today, 55 years later, Hope is involved in residential programs, interventions, a middle school, an elementary school. We serve all the autism program for the state of Illinois. Everywhere kids have needs, where they have developmental differences, that's where we are. That's Hope.
Marissa's mother and the other parents have watched their children flourish at Hope with everything the new programs offer.
We have the most incredible staff. They're forward-thinking. They're some of the brightest minds in this business, and they're doing incredible work with kids. And it doesn't matter whether they're the maintenance workers or folks that are keeping our playgrounds and our schools safe, whether it's the teachers, the principals, the therapists, the paraprofessionals. We could go on and on. We have a huge family at Hope, and each and every person there is totally committed to our young people and their families.
When a new child is admitted to Hope, we go through an extensive evaluation process, through the admissions process, through paper, through interviews with parents, family, friends, and then direct observations of the students in both their classroom and home environments. When a parent brings their child to Hope initially, we have a couple options for that student. We have our day student programming, which is just at our learning center and our academic programming during the school day. But then we also have a residential program where the child resides with us and attends our learning center school program.
We have a beautiful 26-acre campus in Springfield, Illinois, that offers a park-like setting for our residents to enjoy. Hope Campus offers our residents complete living facilities, classrooms for development, along with a swimming pool, playground areas, nature trails for our children recreation. Residential services provide support for daily living activities. For example, skills for personal hygiene and socialization.
Our newest residence is the Nyer Home, dedicated in 2012. This beautiful addition to the Hope campus in Springfield provides all of the comforts of home, but with special accommodations like diffuse lighting, handicap-accessible kitchen and bathrooms, and safety features. Like other Hope residences, the children who live here are provided as much independence as possible and learn day-to-day skills like cooking and cleaning to help them be successful after they leave Hope. Our goal at Hope is to provide our students with an array of skills to make them successful in their adult lives, with the ultimate goal of being active community members. One important area we focus heavily on is preparing students for community employment opportunities.
We work with our students there on campus in a classroom setting and in a school setting, and then we develop them into working competitively employed out into the community. So they start into the classroom type areas, we assess their skills, and we break down every single step to every task vocational wise. We break them down, and then we grade on how they're doing independent wise or what exactly functional level that they're doing. So the goal is always to work with the students on campus and then to get them involved out into the community as much as possible working.
How may I help you?
My favorite vocational opportunities and vocational training sites that we have is here at the Knoll Cafe. Right here at the cafe, we employ 8 of our students. We can assess them, we can get to know their strengths and weaknesses, and then I can go out and do competitively employed job development for our students and get them out in the community competitively employed working.
$1.50.
And Joe does everything from opening the cafe, greeting customers, preparing coffee, making sandwiches, and doing all the janitorial tasks here at the Knoll Cafe.
And for Marissa, Kyle, and Elizabeth, Hope is just the beginning.
I just knew that Elizabeth needed more than I could give her. I think her having a routine and a schedule, she wasn't as aggressive. She was more content. You can see it in her facial expressions and her behaviors, how happy she is. And she looks forward to the events.
We believe that every child is unique and every child has a gift to share. Our hope is that we can work with more and more children to make that hope a reality. They're bright, they're creative, they have a purpose, and it's up to us as adults to ensure that they can fulfill those dreams.
Her first prom, she come down the hallway in a long blue dress, and they had done her hair, and she had little flowers in her hair, and my little girl wasn't a little girl anymore. She was a beautiful young woman. I was so proud of her.
And he definitely is a teenager, and he is much more calm, much more sure of himself. He can tell us what he wants. He's just really, really progressed, and he's just a wonderful kid to be around. I hope that he'll be able to have a job and friends, and I know he's going to have a lot of family support. So the future looks a lot brighter than it did 19 years ago. When we came, we brought him to Hope. We found hope.
Every individual success here is a celebration for us.
So as the need is growing, what we're doing is we're renovating and building a new campus in Springfield. We're expanding our elementary school in Chicago. We're doing tons more research and outreach for families with autism. And all of that is a big investment, but it's an investment that's really needed and one that's so worthwhile. So as you can imagine, as the demand is increasing, so does the investment. And we're ramping up to prepare to meet that demand. If you're a corporation, if you're a foundation, if you're a parent, if you're just somebody who loves kids and wants the best for them, please come and join our team.
How did Hope make a difference in Marissa's life? It has changed everything in Marissa's life. Like I say, she used to be a very aggressive young lady. She wasn't able to express her feelings. We couldn't go out in the community very well. You know, we couldn't go places. Now we go out in the community regularly. We've gone on extended family vacations. She functions at home. She functions places. She's able to express her feelings. It has changed everything in her life and mine. And because her behaviors have changed, my life has changed as well. I think one of her greatest accomplishments was being in the Style of Hope. And when we walked in, she was very distraught because she didn't know what she was getting into. When they called her name to go up and walk down the runway to do it, she did it. She walked down that runway, waving, blowing kisses to the people. I never in my life would have thought she would be able to do that, to accomplish that. And to see her do that was just magnificent. It is just a wonderful, wonderful accomplishment for her. It makes me so proud.
We are a team of educators, clinicians, and healthcare providers here to support children and their families. Together, we are one hope. The mission of the Hope Institute is to help children and families realize progress for a more fulfilling life. If you would like more information, please feel free to reach us by phone or through our website.